go.
Well, Carja, nor bhí me ag teacht agus ag dul hús an sráid seo, hús bóthar bailú morathu, agus nuair a tháinig mé Donny D agus na daoine eile a dheanú an peantáil seo, bhí macrí breiste ag smaoinú faoi Patrick Mulvanna agus faoi Jim Emerson Bryson. Agus nuair a bhecam an scaff de mór mar seo, mar a dúirt Mary, tá mé agus tá muid go háan bródóil faoi baile ó morathu agus an ceantar a lig. Coming back and forth up Ballymurphy Road over the last week or so and seeing this gable wall being transformed was, in a way, a bit heartbreaking for those of us who knew Patrick Mulvanna and Jim Bryson. Because, of course, had they lived, like the rest of us, they'd be much older. And someone wrote once of those who die young is that they stay forever young. And I want to commend Donny D and Eddie Morgan, who helped him to do this brilliant mural. I want to commend Frankie Duffy. And I want to assure everyone that this isn't, the local people aren't just going to have a one-off for Emerson or for young Patrick, that all of those from this area are going to be commemorated in this way in the time ahead. I also want to commend the colour party. Some of them are a bit geriatric. And I saw that F Troop here went the wrong way. But I want to commend all of the former POWs who have turned out. Of course, the struggle here wasn't conducted just by those who have died, or indeed just by all of the people who have come out in their white shirts, although it's great to see them all here. The women of this area were always the backbone of the area. The women of this area... When the troops first came in here, it was the women, some since dead, like young Dorothy McGuire and the Pettigrews and all of the young people who first opposed the British Army up here when they moved into Henry Taggart. And of course some of the older women who have died since. The hen patrols first came from this area. And I have said at different times in public statements and in speeches that there are brave people in every side of a conflict. There are brave people in the RUC, there are brave people in the British Army. But we have the bravest of the brave. And here in B Company of the 2nd Battalion of the Irish Republican Army, in this area, right across from New Barnsley into Moyard, Dermot Hill, down through Spring Hill, into West Rock and the White Rock, here in the North, we have the bravest of the brave. Patrick Mulvanna was my brother-in-law. He was younger than me. I remember the time of the first cessation in 1974. It was actually the anniversary of young Patrick's death, the time that he died. And Jim Bryson was maybe my age or a year or two older. My age. And I knew Jim much better. In and out of prison and different escapades about the place. But one little funny memory I have of him, because Tommy Tolan was his great sidekick, was that they were in Cage 6 one time in Long Cash, and they were on hunger strike. And this is the 20th anniversary of the hunger strikes. We have come to know what hunger strikes mean and the huge sacrifice that the hunger strikers made. And everybody else that was on this particular hunger strike. They were sending hankies out. I think Jimmy Duff was somewhere in there. But they were sending hankies out, and they were very heroic handkerchiefs with drawings of Ireland and Mother Ireland and Ireland Lua. And what did Toadler and Bryson put on their handkerchiefs? A plate of fish and steak and chips. So I think that they brought to all of this not just great bravery, but a great sense of normality, of good humour, and of just being from the north. It's a great pride of theirs to be from here. So I'm very, very pleased to be associated with unveiling this plaque. I had to be helped by Gerry Kelly. You may have noticed that, those of you who didn't know. There's lots of wannabe workmen's about, you know, people from the White Rock and other places. So it's a great joy to be here today, to see so many people here, and I wish you all well. And I just want to finish with this. Sometimes a lot of Republicans take other Republicans for granted. Sometimes a lot of us who are involved in struggle just take it for granted. And we shouldn't take each other for granted. Anybody at all that did any tiny little thing is as good a Republican as any of the rest of us. And because you're maybe not so active now as you were when you were younger, or because, you know, other events take over your life, don't feel but have a sense of pride that when we get the British to leave this island, when we get an end to partition, when we have a national republic on this island, you will have played a part in bringing this about. And when the history books are written, B Company, 2nd Battalion, will have a whole chapter to itself. Goramila Magov.